Okay, today we are going to simplify rational expressions with factoring. We're going to combine some things you guys already know. For example, you already know how to factor, yes? C. And you already know that anything divided by itself is 1, right? Right? Okay, great. So let's start off with number 1 here. How would I factor the top of that fraction? Am I going to do difference of squares, 2 binomials? Greatest common factor? Greatest common factor. What is the greatest common factor here? Good. And what would that leave me with inside the parentheses? V plus 10. Excellent. Now the bottom. I don't have a greatest common factor. I don't have difference of squares. I have a trinomial, 3 terms. So I'm going to go straight to 2 binomials. I'll use V and V because I have V squared. I'm trying to think of factors of 50 that would multiply to give me 50, but could add to give me 15. 10 and 5. Excellent. And what sign should I use? Plus and plus. Okay. So that's all stuff we already know. Now, here's the simplifying and the rational part. If I have V plus 10 on the top and V plus 10 on the bottom, we understand a fraction bar is just division, right? Yeah. Those just cancel to make 1, right? What's 10 times 1? 10. And what's V plus 5 times 1? Yeah, it wasn't a trick question. It's V plus 5. That's my final answer. So you went from that big garbly goop down to just that little bit. Pretty easy? Yeah. All right. Let's go try it on number 2. Okay. I'm going to factor the bottom first. I have a reason for doing that. What will I factor out on the bottom? 4. And that leaves me n minus 7. Now, the reason I said do the bottom first is if I was the author of this worksheet, and I am the author, and I'm trying to teach simplifying rational expressions, I'm probably going to try to put it n minus 7 in the top of that fraction. Yes? Yeah. All right. So when I do this into 2 binomials, n and n, I probably already know one of those factors is going to be 7. What do you think the other would be? Factors of 21, one of which is 7, 3. Yeah. And I want to get a -4 when I add. So where should I put my negative? With the 7 and plus 3. Then what can I cancel here? The n minus 7s. And my final answer is n plus 3 over 4. Am I good? Okay. Couple of things I want to caution you about. I'm just doing a little sidebar here, okay? If I had x plus 5 over 5, can I cancel those 5s? No. Because that x plus 5, that's addition, that's 2 terms, right? Okay, because that's being added, I can't just cancel a 5. Mathematically, that doesn't work. Okay. However, if it was x times 5 divided by 5, then I could cancel my 5s. See, with multiplication, I can. With addition, I cannot. I just want to make sure we're all good with that. Yes?
How come you need to do a bottom term first?
I didn't need to. It was just easier because then I knew one of those terms in the top would probably be a 7. Because I'm teaching y'all to cancel these out. So no, it makes sense. It just makes it a little easier. Okay. Let's look at number 3. What can I factor out of number 3? What else? 10x. Good. And then inside the parentheses, that would leave me 7x plus 3. On the bottom, what can I factor out? 10x. And that leaves me 3x minus 2. What cancels here? The 10x's cancel, and it leaves me 7x plus 3 over 3x minus 2. Good so far? All right, let's go take a look at number 4. What do you think I should factor out on the top? 4k. Yes. And that leaves k minus 10. And then on the bottom, I'm gonna have k and k. I'm assuming one of my factors is probably gonna be 10, right? What would the other be? All right. And I'm either gonna have to be plus plus or minus minus. What should I be? To get negative 13. Minus minus. I want to multiply to get positive 30. I want to subtract to get negative 13. Okay, what can I cancel? K minus 10. And what am I left with? 4k over k minus 3. Okay, I want to show you a little bit of a different problem. So we're going to flip over a couple of pages to number 14. Number 14. And if you don't have a calculator, now might be a good time to get a calculator. A graphing calculator. Because as we get into bigger numbers, you may find that you want to find the greatest common factor on the calculator. So let me remind you how we would do that. You would select the math key, arrow over to the number key. Then you're going to arrow down and choose, I believe it's number 9. It says greatest common divisor, GCD. Greatest common divisor is the same thing as greatest common factor. And then you would type in 56, 80. And what do you get? 8. Now, it doesn't account for the variable. Can I factor out a variable here? 8r, good. So inside that would leave me 7r plus 10. Okay, what about 16 and 48? Give you a second to do that on the calculator. 16. What else? Yep. Good. I'm going to factor out a 16r. And that's going to leave me with r minus what? Good. Now you may notice I can't cancel 7r plus 10 and r minus 3, right? What can I cancel? Okay, so r and r cancels. That would make a 1, right? And then 8 and 16, that's a fraction. It reduces to 1/2, right? Well, what is 1 times 7r plus 10? 7r plus 10. Okay, I just want to show you don't have to put the 1 on top. I do need to make sure I put that 2 on bottom and put it times r minus 3. And there's your final answer. So sometimes it's not the binomials that will cancel. Sometimes it might be your coefficients, or it might be a variable hanging out front that's being multiplied. Any questions? You think you're ready to try some on your own? Okay, I'm going to stop the video now. Be sure and check Google Classroom if you're watching the video to see what the assignment is for today.